All right, we're ready to get started. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good, good. We're going to do some Facebook training. You're going to want to listen. So all of you out there who aren't sitting down, come on, grab a seat. It's going to be awesome. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Katie Lance. I'm the CEO and owner of Katie Lance Consulting, and I specialize in social media marketing, management, training. I was formerly with Inman News. I was the social media director for Inman News for 3 years and really kind of helped to grow and cultivate their social presence from about 5,000 likes or so to over 300,000 likes and followers and friends. And I work hand in hand with many people, many companies. Remax is one of my clients, and we're working to really build the Remax social strategy. But what I'm excited to talk to all of you about today is Facebook. So we're going to dive into some stuff. I've got my laptop here. We're going to pull some stuff up live. This is unscripted, so off the cuff. And I'm going to go through a few things. I know probably a couple of you were here yesterday. I was talking a lot about Facebook pages yesterday and personal profiles. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about Facebook groups. Facebook groups, I'm also going to talk about listening on social and some ways to really kind of monitor your brand, especially in Facebook. And then if we have some time, I'm going to talk a little bit about Facebook ads. Okay, so kind of a lot. I'm going to talk for probably about 30 minutes. So first of all, I want to kind of get into talking about Facebook groups. So Facebook groups is a huge opportunity. You know, there are Facebook personal profiles or Facebook business pages, but Facebook groups really allows you to have a conversation with people in a little bit of a different way. You know, Facebook groups are kind of like the dinner party versus the Remax convention with 7,000 people, right? You guys know it's an awesome event. Obviously, there's thousands of people here, but sometimes some of the best stuff comes at night, right? When you hang out with 10 people and you go out to dinner, and you really kind of network and get to know people from different parts of the country. And that's really, in a lot of ways, what Facebook groups is all about. It's really kind of these small conversations that you can have. And so I want to talk a little bit about groups. There's one group, I think it's probably up here right now. So this is the Remax R4 attendee group. So if you're not part of this group, I really recommend, it's not too late. We're only on day 2. So join the group. It's just Remax R4 2013. And we only have 492 members, and there's 7,000 people here, right? So we need more people as part of the group. And in the group, you'll see people sharing photos and videos, because obviously we can't be in all places at the same time, right? I'm hearing that from everybody, like, oh, there's so many good sessions, I wish I could be at everything. So the group is a great place to connect and really, find out what's going on from other people, see photos, see updates. And throughout the event, and actually before the event, myself and Corey Vasquez, our social media manager here, was posting updates about the event. But there's some other great groups on Facebook I really want to encourage you to check out, because there's some small groups. I'm going to talk about how to create groups in a second, but there's some really kind of massive groups on Facebook that are a really great resource for real estate professionals. So the first group is a group called Tech Support Group for Real Estate Agents. Tech Support Group for Real Estate Agents. Now this is a big group. This is 5,400 people. So this isn't quite the small dinner party that I was just talking about. But the benefit to this particular group is that there are agents and brokers from all across the country who are in there asking questions, saying, I have a new I want to get a new website. What vendors do you recommend? Or do I really need an IDX search? Or I need more leads. I'm checking out this company. What do you think of this? And so there's all these conversations happening, and agents and brokers and vendors are chiming in and saying, well, check out this or check out this. And it's a really kind of great unbiased resource for questions and answers. So again, that's the Tech Support Group for real estate agents. Now, if any of you are listening who are a vendor, by the way, for those of you on the peripheral who are vendors, make sure you're checking that group, because your agents and brokers are having conversations about you, and you want to make sure that you're a part of that conversation. And this is actually a really great, the reason for this group is tech support. So if you need something kind of specific, something's broken, you just have a question, it's a great source to kind of start. The second group that's really fantastic that I recommend you check out is a group called What Should I Spend My Money On? What should I spend my money on? And I don't know about you, but I get agents asking me all the time, like, should I spend my money on this? Should I spend my money on that? And you're probably feeling that because you're sitting in the middle of the exhibit hall, right? And you're walking up and down, and everyone's got a great deal and handing you, flyers and coupons, and there's some fantastic vendors here, but sometimes it's hard to know what you should spend your money on. So this is a really fantastic group, also a big group. There's 4,500 members in this group. They're all across the world, And it's just really kind of a nice source to say, hey, I'm thinking about spending money on this. Have you done that? And you'll hear pros and cons and people chiming in. So those are just a couple great resources. If you haven't heard of those two groups just on Facebook for yourself, that I'd really recommend you check out. The other thing I want to talk about is actually like the benefit of creating a Facebook group yourself. And so if you've never done this, I'm going to show you really quick. On your homepage, so I'm on my homepage right now, on the left-hand side, you can see all these different things. So these are my favorites, ads, pages, groups. And if I click on more, it'll take me to groups. And you can actually get there directly if you wanted to go to facebook.com/bookmarks/groups. And so this is the opportunity to create a group. Now, I usually get the question, well, Katie, I have a personal profile. And then I also have a business page, because someone told me a long time ago I have to get a business page. Now, why should I create a group? Well, a group is not necessarily for everybody. But there are certain opportunities, I think, that an agent can really maximize having a group. So I'm seeing, and you know, for myself, I travel across the country. I probably speak to tens of thousands of agents all across the United States. And the agents who are really succeeding in social media, one of the things they're doing is they're creating some small kind of niche groups in their market. So things like, you know, people who live in Denver, you know, Denver kind of homeowner type groups, or first-time homebuyer groups, where it's very small. You know, for example, there's an agent I know out in New Jersey. She has a small, very small group of, I think, 10 or 15 of her clients who are all first-time homebuyers, right? Because that's her niche. And so they're all in a group, you know, and she'll post content in there, you know, a couple times a week. But the nice thing about it is it's a conversation. So there's other people chiming in going, yeah, I had that question too, or yeah, how about this, or how about that? Especially with like a local neighborhood, there's a big opportunity if you're someone who really, you know, has found a really kind of niche market, and most agents have really kind of found their niche, you know, in a specific neighborhood or neighborhoods, to put together a nice neighborhood group. There's one specific actually in Denver that's gotten fairly large for a real estate group. There's probably a few hundred people that are in there. And what they've done is they invited people that they know. It's a brokerage in Denver that started this. It's actually Live Urban Denver, which is kind of like this small little boutique brokerage. But what they've done is they've invited their clients to join it. They've invited landlords that they know to join it. They've invited other people in the community to join it. Like, they encourage people to post jobs if there's, you know, recent job openings. And so it's sort of become like this little community group. And of course, the subject of real estate comes up from time to time. But the point is that you're being a really nice local resource and creating content. So I really think there's a big opportunity. You know, when I look at social media and I look at Facebook specifically, Facebook's growing and changing, and there's all these sort of privacy concerns. But where I really do see the big benefit is groups. And I know for my own benefit, I'm part of these really big groups, but I'm also part of some really small groups. You know, and some of the most successful groups I'm a part of are literally groups where there's like 10 or 15 people. And it's this little mastermind group. Hello. And that's the other opportunity. So obviously you can create neighborhood groups, you can create first-time homebuyer groups, or any sort of niche groups that you're a part of. But how about getting together with some other agents that you really connect with, and sort of form a nice mastermind group? I'm in a group right now with 8 other women. We're sort of this little kind of power women, you know, mastermind group of the 9 of us. And I have to tell you, this group has sort of evolved and changed. And we're all in real estate, and you know, we just sort of kind of hold each other accountable. And it's sort of the same thing that we might have done in years past, where you meet once a month to go to lunch or go to coffee, but now it's in a group. And I know for myself, it's really kind of helped take what I do to the next level. And I think for real estate, you know, sometimes real estate's a little lonely, right? You're out and about, and you're doing your thing, and you're working really hard, and you're not sure who to trust because, you know, it's a tough market and everyone's competitive. But if you can find some sort of like-minded people, and especially in Facebook, there's a big opportunity to create a nice small niche group. So you can see here, this is the group page. I'm part of a lot of different groups. The other nice thing that's great about a group, so if you start a group, when you start a group, and anyone who joins the group, every time there's a post in that group, they get a notification. So unlike a Facebook business page, where you post on a Facebook business page and some people see things and some people don't, in a Facebook group, everybody gets a notification when there's a post in there. Now that's a good thing. It could be a bad thing if you're a part of a lot of groups. There is a way to kind of turn that off and you know, tone it down if you don't want to get notified from the 50 groups you're a part of. But as an admin, someone who's managing a small group, that's nice. So you know, if you post something in there, those 10 people are going to get pinged. Either they'll get pinged right on their screen where it shows the little red notifications, or if they've set up email notifications, they'll get an email. So it's very simple to start a group. Basically, you just go to the group page, again, facebook.com/bookmarks/groups, and you click create group. And you can name it whatever you'd like to name it. So whether it's first time homebuyer group, or people moving to San Francisco, or we love Remax, whatever you'd like the group to be called. And then there's a few different options. So an open group means that anybody can join and the conversation's totally open, meaning you'll actually see it in people's news feeds. So there's no privacy. Some of those big groups I mentioned earlier, the tech support group and the what should I spend my money on, those are open groups because the whole philosophy is that anyone can be a part of those. We want more agents part of those. The conversation can happen in a really open environment. Closed groups are groups where you can see the information, but you can't join until you have permission. So you can see what's happening in there. They're not necessarily part of your news feed, but if you were to go to the group, you could see the content, but you couldn't join until you got permission from an admin. And then the last group is a secret group. And if you're concerned about privacy at all, secret is kind of the way to go, especially with the whole new Facebook graph search, and Facebook's really working on their search. So if you're creating a really small niche group, and maybe it is with your clients, your 10 first-time homebuyer clients, or people in the neighborhood that you just really want to kind of protect their privacy. I'm a big fan of secret groups. The name's funny. It's like, oh, it's a secret club, right? Is there like a secret handshake and a secret dance you got to do? It's a secret group, so it just kind of prevents everybody in the whole world from seeing your updates. You can invite people as you'd like. So those are some of the different things. Very simple. I do get the question, well, okay, if groups are so great, why do I still need a Facebook business page? I really do feel like Facebook business pages serve a different purpose. A group is a little bit more of a conversation, and a Facebook business page is more of the place where you could post out your market updates, where you're pushing more content. Groups are more of a pull, where you're saying, hey, does anybody in the area know about this, ... And you're having a conversation, whereas a page is a little bit more of a push. Now, of course, on a Facebook business page, the most successful Facebook business pages are not just the ones pushing all the time, but once you've pushed information and people respond, they're commenting, they're liking, they're interacting. They're not just posting and running, as sometimes that happens, right? So we've got groups, we've got pages. I wanted to point out, too, the Remax Facebook page, which I'm sure probably all of you have seen at some point. Would really encourage all of you to really kind of keep your eye on it, because myself and Corey are working really hard kind of behind the scenes. We're spending a lot of time and resources this year working on the Facebook business page for Remax, the Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, all those platforms. So just kind of a little teaser, stay tuned, because a lot of cool things are happening. But Corey's doing a great job. She's posting content on here once or twice a day. So if you're someone who has a Facebook business page and you don't know what to say, and you just want something to post out, it's a great source just to go to and find some great content, and she does a really nice job of doing that. So the other thing I wanted to touch on really quick was monitoring. So, monitoring your name, monitoring your brand, especially on social, and especially on Facebook. And so there's a couple sites I wanted to recommend that I use that I think are great for really kind of monitoring your brand. The first is one that I'm sure some of you have probably heard about, Google Alerts. Google Alerts are free, which is great. We love free. And do any of you have Google Alerts set up right now? You do? Okay. So if you don't have Google Alerts set up, I would recommend that you do it. Basically, it's just google.com/alerts. And there's a couple things that you'd want to set up for. So I would recommend that you set up your name. So I have one that says Katie Lance. And I have Katie Lance in quotes on my search. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I have this, I can type here, in quotes, and that way it'll search everything that says Katie Lance, not just everything that says Katie, and not just everything that says Lance. So put your name in quotes. Now if you have a really common name, it's not always it doesn't work as effectively. My cohort, Chris Smith, Google Alerts don't work so well for him because he's got a pretty common name. But the benefit to doing a Google Alert for the other 95% of us is that anytime something is published on the web or Facebook or Google or any of these places, you will get a notification. And so you'll get a notification once a day or more often if you like it more often. And what's really nice about that is you're just staying on top of your brand. So have your name out there. You know, if someone leaves you a negative review on Yelp, do you know about it? Sometimes we don't know about it till like someone finds it and emails us to us 6 months later, and there's nothing worse than that, right? So have your name, have your company name if you're a broker or manager. If you're a broker or manager, you could have all of your agents, you know, set up on Google Alerts if you really wanted to go, you know, kind of Google Alert crazy. But for Facebook, it's really great because, like I said, you're monitoring your name. It's also really great for Facebook because Google Alerts are a great way to come up with content for your Facebook page. So one of the things I get asked all the time is, well, what am I supposed to post to Facebook, right? You set up a page or you've got a personal profile, and a lot of times you just get stuck on what to post. So one of the nice things about a Google Alert is you can set up different alerts for your areas, for towns. So for example, you could set one up like, I could set one up just for San Francisco. That's where I'm from. It's loading. All right, so, 1-0. Okay, so San Francisco. And so what you could do is you could set up Google Alerts for maybe the 3 or 4 or 5 towns or communities that you work in. And then again, once a day, you'll get a notification in your inbox with articles, blog posts, videos that people from kind of all over the web have wrote about your area. And what I do is I look at it really quick. Some of it's a lot of junk, so I just hit delete. But if something catches my eye and it's really interesting, like maybe a neighborhood video or an article from the San Francisco Chronicle or something interesting, then I'll post that out on my Facebook business page or I'll tweet that out, because now that's local content. And as an agent, one of your content goals should be to really post out local content. Now, Gary Vaynerchuk did a great job talking about that this morning when he was talking about being a storyteller and creating content. And, you know, I think we get kind of overwhelmed by like, you know, I'm an agent, I gotta sell houses, you know, how do I come up with content? And this is an easy thing that I'm seeing agents do to be able to come up with content. Okay, I know I'm talking a lot here. So I wanna showcase a couple other sites really quick that are great for kind of monitoring your brand, especially on Facebook. So there's a site called Currently, currently.com with a K, KURRENTLY.com. And this is a really fun site. I love this site because it's free, it's easy to use. And basically the benefit of this site is to be able to search who's talking about you on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, and some of these other networks. And I'm going to show you really quick how it works. So I'm going to just go ahead and type in my name here. And hopefully nothing bad comes up, right? So I'm going to pull up my name. I'm going to hit search. And then what's going to happen is it's going to pull up a whole sort of search thing, and I can pick Twitter, Facebook, Google. So if I pick Facebook here, let's see here. I'm just going to pick Twitter just to make it easy here. So I can pick Twitter, and you'll see here these are all the different mentions of my name on Twitter. I could do the same thing for Google. I could do the same thing for Facebook. And you know, just depending on how active you are on these social channels, it's really nice to see who's talking about your brand. Especially, like I said, if you're someone who's a broker or a manager, to be able to put in your office name and see, you know, what kind of conversations are happening about your area, about your company, about your brand. It works very well, in my opinion. It's very easy. There's no analytics with this. It's very just kind of a simple search tool. So I like this a lot. I think it's very easy to use. The other tool that I really like for kind of monitoring your brand on social is a site called socialmention.com. And this is a little bit more robust, but it's a great site for managing, again, who's talking about you and your brand. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in, I'll just put myself in again here. So you could put in, you know, your name, your company name, any other sort of search term you wanted. I can type here. All right, and so then what I could do is I could search across the whole sort of interwebs, or I could just kind of narrow it down to blogs, you know, comments, events, images. I'm just going to go and click search, click everything. So it's searching across the universe right now. This might take a second. There's a lot of bandwidth happening here in the exhibit hall. But what'll happen when this pulls up is that there's some really nice analytics that show, you know, how often you've been talked about, what sort of content is is out there with your name or your brand. Here we go. Here's some stuff. Okay, here's a good example. So there's a video. That was a video of me yesterday up here. And someone posted that on Facebook yesterday, so that came up on here. Now, I might have already seen that on Facebook because she tagged me, so I saw it last night when I was checking my Facebook notifications. But if I had missed that, it's a great way to see, oh, someone has mentioned you on Facebook. And I particularly like socialmention.com for Facebook, because sometimes on Facebook, it is kind of challenging sometimes to find out when someone's talked about you or your brand. If they've tagged you, it makes it really easy. But a lot of us don't. How many of you in this room have talked about RE/MAX, but you haven't tagged the RE/MAX Facebook page, right? So how does Corey or me or whoever else who's monitoring the RE/MAX brand, how do we know that? Well, we're going to sites like this to say, oh, so-and-so's talked about RE/MAX. And this is a really important thing to do, especially as a brand, to just monitor conversations that are happening. And so you can see sort of the percentage numbers, you can see some of the top keywords and top users. One of the things that I use this for is, again, you can set up an email alert. So instead of going to this once a day, I have a few searches just set up. It comes to my inbox once a day. I've got the Google alerts that come to my inbox. I've got Social Mention once a day. And it's a really easy way. I'm always, we're always looking at our email every 5 minutes, right? We're looking at our email. So it's a really easy way to kind of monitor your brand and monitor conversations that are happening. All right, I have about 7 minutes left. So I want to kind of switch gears for a second and talk about Facebook ads for just a minute. Now, I could probably talk about Facebook ads for a couple hours, but I won't do that. Have any of you run any Facebook ads before? That you have? Nobody? Okay. You're the only one. So one of the benefits of having a Facebook business page is you can run ads to increase your likes, increase sort of the traffic on your page. There's also analytics and a lot more sort of business tools on a business page. Personal profile, you can't run ads. I've seen a lot of success with Facebook ads. And the way that you do this is facebook.com/advertising. And I'd really recommend, if you're someone who's listening and you have a Facebook business page and you're sort of stuck, and I know that there's a lot of people at this convention that have Facebook pages that are kind of stuck, where you have 25 likes, 100 likes, 200 likes. You post something once a week and maybe you get 1 like and nothing happens, and you're like, why did I do this, right? You came to a conference probably like this and set something up, and maybe now your page is a little bit of a graveyard. Or again, maybe you're just kind of stuck and you need to grow your page. So Facebook ads are a great way to do that. And one of the nice things about Facebook ads is that you can spend a very kind of small amount of money and really see a big gain in terms of likes to your page. So you can spend $10 a day, you can spend $20 a day. I really recommend, if someone's just starting off, to do $10 or $20 a day for 7 days. And what's nice about Facebook ads is that you can really drill down and target a really kind of a specific set. So I'm going to go in here really quick and just kind of show you really quick how it works. And I know I'm kind of short on time, so I'm going to talk fast. Okay, so I'm going to click this button. I'm going to pretend like I'm creating an ad, all right? And I'll just pretend like it's for my page. So there's all these different options that go into having a Facebook ad. And what's nice about it is they've made it really simple. If you've done Facebook ads a long time ago but haven't done them recently, I encourage you to kind of get back in there and check it out, because they've really kind of added a lot of nice features. So you can get more page likes, promote page posts, you can do advanced options. One of the best ads that I've seen are ads that generate more likes. And most agents, they want ads that get clicks to their listings, but you got to think long term, right? So the more likes you have on your business page, the more people are going to see your posts, the more they're going to see your content, the more your brand's going to get built. And honestly, I really feel like investing money in Facebook, one of the best ways to invest money is to invest to get more likes. What I've seen from people spending $100, $150 on seven days of Facebook ads, a lot of times people will grow their likes on their business page by 100 or 200, even more, just because they're putting a little bit of emphasis on it. And so there's a couple different things that you can do. There's all different options. One of the ads that I think is really easy to run, and I don't know if you guys can see this, it's about halfway down here. I'm going to see if I can zoom in. So sponsored stories. You guys see that right there? Big right in the middle? Okay, so what I would recommend, if you're not sure what to say on a Facebook ad, is do a sponsored story. Because where most agents get stuck, as they get stuck on what image should I post, and I only get like 50 words, so what should the words be? Well, what a sponsored story is all it is are those ads, and we've all seen them, where they're on the right side of the page that say, so-and-so has liked this page, right? And you're targeting friends of friends. And we've all done that, and I've probably at some point clicked on some, I know I have, I've clicked on some of those pages because my mom has liked this page. Oh, okay, well, what is this page, right? And that's all it is. It's an ad where you're targeting friends of your friends, sort of the next tier. And that's really kind of what social media is. It's like that word of mouth, right, on steroids. So friends of friends, and you're targeting people who can potentially like your page. So that's why I would recommend that you start. There's different options where you can, add your headline and all this stuff. I would just recommend to if you're first starting out on Facebook ads, and maybe if you've already done some ads but haven't done sponsored stories, I really recommend you check these out. They're very simple. And then as you scroll down, you choose your audience. So, I could target 160 million people, or I could actually target my niche area. So I could go down under age. You could kind of play around with the ages. I would say, as an agent, depending on my market, maybe I'm going to pick 25 and up. And then you can really kind of dive down into precise interests, precise interests, and you can target mobile users, in fact. This is actually a new thing with Facebook ads, is being able to target mobile users. I think we've all probably seen on our Facebook feed some ads now running in the news feed, which some of us like, some of us don't like, but how do those ads appear there? They appear because someone has selected this mobile user experience. And then you can really kind of scroll down. You can target people who are friends of your page, and and then go down and pick your pricing. So there's some other things in there as well. You can really kind of drill down into community. You can drill down into people who live within a 50-mile radius of your city, of your area, and then instead of talking to 160,000 people, you're targeting 10,000, or 5,000, and your cost comes way down. So I really recommend you check it out. Again, I know I could probably talk about it for a lot longer, but for Facebook business pages specifically, if you're looking to build your page, I'd really recommend ads. So I know I covered a lot. I talked about groups and pages and ads. For more information about me, I'm going to be kind of around throughout the event. I have another session later today at 4 o'clock. I'm going to be talking about honing your social media strategy. I'm talking about really kind of going into content strategy and relationship building. That is in, I believe, room 313, 313-316, whatever that means. It's up that way. And you can also find me on Facebook, of course, facebook.com/Katie Lance Consulting. And I do all the videos for Remax for the download. Not all of them, but I'm on a lot of them. So if you haven't seen those yet, check them out. All right? Thanks, everybody. See you on Facebook.